Ramdas lived with his wife Meera in Mirpur village. He used to sell fish.
What is for lunch today?
Fish, paneer, dal and omelette also. Everything has turned out very tasty.
Okay, let's eat.
After eating up, Ramdas would go fishing. He would fish all day before going back home. You are back? A government official visited us. He announced to the whole village that there is a flu spreading. He has left masks for everybody and here is yours.
Will I not get the flu if I wear a mask?
Yes, that's what he said. The government has specially sent the masks. If you wear it, you have 100% protection from the flu. If you lose yours, they won't give another one. So keep this in mind. Nobody is allowed to leave their homes without a mask anymore.
Okay, stop lecturing me. Let's eat dinner. What have you cooked?
I have mixed potatoes, cauliflower, peas, ladyfinger and fish to make a delicious dish for you.
Alright, bring whatever you have cooked.
The next day, all the villagers were seen wearing masks outdoors. Ramdas too wore a mask and went to fish. That evening, when he is transferring the fish from his net to a bucket, he finds a golden ring in a fish's mouth. Ramdas is shocked and he takes the gold ring home.
Look, what have I found in the fish's mouth today? A gold ring.
Oh wow, surely the Lord has blessed you for all your hard work. Ramdas sells the ring and buys a big house with the money. He buys a fancy car too. He would drive in his new car to go fishing and bring the catch of the day back in the car. Ramdas and his wife began living a very happy and content life. Ramdas had a neighbor named Raghav who was a milkman. Raghav felt very jealous about Ramdas.
Ramdas is a fisherman, but he's living in a mansion. Here I am still living in a hut. My cow just doesn't produce any milk. I am broke because of her. But there is one way to make Ramdas poor. Flu is in the air. If I steal his mask, he won't be able to leave his house.
At night, when Ramdas and Meera were asleep, Raghav sneaks into Ramdas's house and steals the couple's face masks and feeds them to his own cow. The next day, when Ramdas is about to leave for work, he looks for his mask all over the house, but to no avail.
Both the masks have disappeared. Now how will I go and fish today? The flu isn't going away for another year.
Ramdas begins sobbing in front of his father's photo. Suddenly, his father's soul appears in front of him.
My dear son and daughter-in-law, I will give you a magical mask that has a lot of powers.
Ramdas's father's soul gives them a pair of magical masks and then he disappears. As soon as Meera wears the magical mask, her sense of smell heightens. Why are your clothes smelling like a woman's perfume?
I go to the market to sell the fish, and a lot of women come there to shop.
And why wouldn't you sell your fish from far? The next day, when Ramdas goes to the river wearing his magical mask, with his new power of smell, he is able to tell exactly where the fish was underwater. Thanks to the magical mask, Ramdas is now able to catch double the amount of fishes he usually does.
Let's start our own fish business and start exporting the fishes.
Because of the magical mask, Ramdas's business started to boom. One day, the couple were talking about the magical mask.
We are very fortunate today because of the magical mask that my father gave us.
Raghav overhears everything Ramdas just said. When Ramdas and Meera take off their masks to sleep in the night, Raghav breaks into the house to try and steal the magical masks. As soon as he touches the masks, he gets an electrical shock and he faints. The next morning, when Ramdas and Meera wake up, they find Raghav lying on the floor of their room. Ramdas and Meera realize that Raghav is the thief who stole their old masks, and now he had come to steal the new magical ones too. Ramdas calls police to deal with Raghav.
This pencil is mine. No, it is mine. You are lying. It is mine. Why would I lie? You are the one who is lying. Give my pencil back to me, okay? But it is my pencil.
Now what happened? Why are you two fighting again?
Grandmother, this pencil is mine. No, grandmother, this pencil is actually mine.
Give it to me. I will tell you who this pencil belongs to. This pencil is Madhura's.
Yes, see, I told you. But my pencil looks the same, grandmother.
I know this, Harsh. But this pencil is Madhura's.
How do you know that this is Madhura's pencil and not mine?
Madhura always bites the end of the pencil while writing, so I can see the marks of her teeth on this. See, here are the bite marks.
Yes, I see it.
And Harsh, you must have lost your pencil, but don't worry, I'm going to get you a new one.
Okay, grandmother. Grandmother, you are so intelligent. You identified my pencil instantly.
That I am, but not smarter than Gautam Buddha himself.
Who is Gautam Buddha?
In the 5th century, there was a very wise man named Gautam Buddha. Let me tell you one of his stories. Two women in an Indian village were arguing under the sun. They both were Hema and Rekha.
You want to steal my son?
That's my son. You are the one who is stealing him. You are the thief and instead you are blaming me? This is my son. Why, sister? Why are you lying like this? Am I lying or you? Why would I lie about my son? Hearing them fight, some people gathered around them to watch. One of them suggested,
Swear an oath if it's your child.
I swear on my son that this is my child. Sister, don't take false oaths on my child's name. This is my son. Everyone was confused about who really was the mother of this child. Ultimately, both the women took the child to Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha was sitting under his wisdom tree. Both the women explained the issue to him.
The solution is very simple.
Gautam Buddha stood up. He took a stick, and with the help of a stick, he drew a circle on the ground around the women. What is this, sir?
This is the solution to your problem.
But how exactly, sir?
Rekha, you hold the arms and you hold the leg. And then both of you pull the child to yourself. Whoever can, drag the child to themselves and drag outside the circle. She is the mother of this child.
As suggested by Gautam Buddha, both the women took their positions and they both started pulling the baby towards themselves. Hema and Rekha continued doing this for some time. And the baby started crying in pain. Seeing the kid cry, Rekha let go of his hands and Hema took him out of the circle. So I am the mother of this baby.
No, no, no. You are not the mother.
But that's what you had said, sir, isn't it?
The one who could not see her child in pain is the real mother of this baby.
Gautam Buddha gave the little child to Rekha.
Grandmother, Gautam Buddha was really so wise and intelligent. Just like me. You, and intelligent. You couldn't even identify your own pencil.